Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I do apologize for the delay. There seem to have been some miscommunication there regarding the kirtan, but we are all set up now and we are good to go. Please forgive us for that small delay. So, yes, we'd like to welcome everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us on our regular virtual Sunday program. Today we will be covering the topic of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, as today is the auspicious disappearance day of Sri Ramananda Roy. Ramananda Roy was a very confidential associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and His Grace Adigadara Prabhu will be covering this very sweet topic today. Before we get started, we'll just go through the schedule of the program. So I'll just go ahead and change the slide. Yes, thank you. So we'll start off with the kirtan, and the class will begin at 4:45 by His Grace Adigara Prabhu, and we'll have a question and answer, which will be at 5:35. We'll have short announcements at 5:50, and we will be concluding the program today with Nishringa prayers. We'd like to give everyone the opportunity to please take darshan. This is today's darshan in New Panihati Dham of Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra Maharani, Sri Sri Gaur Nitai, and Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. As you can see, the deities are looking extremely beautiful today and extremely static. So we will just give everyone an opportunity to take darshan before we begin the program. Okay, so to get the program started today, we will be having a kirtan, which will be led by Krishna Prabhu. And Krishna Prabhu, if you are ready, I'll hand it over to you and you may begin to lead us in the kirtan. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namiti Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvichesha Dhyavadi Padyadhyani Pradharini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvichesha Dhyavadi Padyadhyani Pradharini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Bhaja Gaur Bhaktavinda Bhaja Gaur Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. That's such a sweet surprise to see all the youth of Panihati Dam, and
July 20
yeah,
સુધી અહીંયા છે.
so nice to see that everybody engaged so wonderfully and playing instruments so expertly, and it's just so wonderful. Just so wonderful to see this, and thank you so much for leading us in the Kirtan, Swati Mataji, and thank you to the youth for playing instruments and also leading us in such a beautiful sweet Kirtan. It's very, very inspiring to see all the youth like this together on a Sunday in a Sangha, playing instruments and doing Kirtan for the pleasure of the Lordships, and also giving their association. So thank you so much, everyone, Garima, Krishna, Nitai, Maitali, and everyone I didn't mention. Thank you so much for giving your association and leading us in this beautiful Kirtan. It just shows, I know Srila Prabhupada mentions a lot about the importance of taking care of Krishna conscious children, and just shows that your parents are doing that so wonderfully, and it's very, very inspiring to see this. So thank you so much for everything, and we'll move on now to the next part of the program.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving service.
Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. So yes, thank you so much. We'll move on now to the next part of the class. We will be beginning the lecture. The lecture will be given by none other than His Grace Adigadara Prabhu. The topic today will be Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, as today is the auspicious disappearance day of Sri Ramananda Roy. So before we get into the class and I hand it over to Adigadara Prabhu, I will just give a brief description, a brief introduction, I should say, on Adigadara Prabhu for those who may not be familiar with him. I'm sure everybody is, but if there are some that may not be aware of who he is, I'll give a brief introduction. So Adigadara Prabhu was introduced to Krishna consciousness by Gaur Gopal Prabhu in August 1998 at the age of 18 years old while studying at Grant Medical College and JJ Hospital in Mumbai. He completed the Bhakti Shastri course taught by Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, and he received first and second initiation from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He currently serves as the Congregation Director for ISKCON Atlanta, and he is a medical doctor and completed his training at Emory University. He serves as a geriatric hospitalist and lives in Atlanta with his wife Radha Bhav Devi and two children, Gopal and Maitali. Yes, so without any further ado, we'd like to welcome His Grace Adigadara Prabhu. Adigadara Prabhu is a very important member of our community here in ISKCON Atlanta, such a wonderful leader, and conducts so many wonderful services, including giving amazing classes and lectures. So without any further ado, Adigadara Prabhu, if you are ready, I'll now hand it over to you. You may begin, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dear Naveen Prabhu. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Prabhu, actually you, Rangesh Prabhu and Kartik Kripa Prabhu and your team of young devotees are taking such a lead in our ISKCON Atlanta congregation and doing so much service, organizing all these kathas, comparing them and taking care of visiting Vaishnavas. So many services you are doing, coordinating all the live streaming from the temple festivals. We are very grateful to you, Prabhu. And all of you are a great source of inspiration to all of us. So thank you very much, Prabhu. We'll chant our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Hriyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha श्री रूपम साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतौ पंगो मम मंद मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्व पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमाद श्रीमद्रत्नागर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रास रसारम्भी वंशीवटा तटस्थिता कर्षणवेणु स्वनैर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथाय श्रियेस्तु नः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining and giving us your valuable association. Today is a very auspicious tithi. Today is the disappearance day of Sri Ramananda Rai. I will be chanting one pranam mantra for Sri Ramananda Rai. In the meantime, Jaikumar Prabhu, if it is possible for you, can you pull up from Veda base, because my screen sharing is not working, Prabhu. From Veda base, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Lila, chapter 8, verse number 1. Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya, chapter 8, verse number 1. So I would like to read one pranam mantra for Sri Ramananda Rai. येना विस्तारितो गौरा कृपया रससागरः विशाखीका स्वरूपं तं रामानन्दम् अहं भजे। येन विस्तारितो गौरा कृपया रससागरः विशाखीका स्वरूपं तं रामानन्दम् अहं भजे। येन विस्तारितो गौरा कृपया रससागरः Vishakika Swarupam Tam Ramanandam Aham Bhaje. And the meaning is, I surrender myself to the lotus feet of Sri Ramananda Raya. Ramanandam Aham Bhaje. At the lotus feet of Sri Ramananda Raya, who is Vishakha Sakhi. Who is Vishakha Sakhi in the pastimes of Vrindavan. In Krishna Lila, Sri Ramananda Raya is Vishakha Sakhi, the very intimate friend of Srimati Radharani. And Vishakha Sakhi in the form of Ramananda Raya, what did she do? Expanded the ocean of Rasa. Rasa Sagara Vistar. Expanded the ocean of transcendental spiritual mellows called Rasa. And how? Gaura Kripa. By the mercy of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So this is the Pranam Mantra for Sri Ramananda Raya, whose Tirobhav Tithi we are observing today. Thank you, Jaikumar Prabhu, for sharing from Chaitanya Charitamrita of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, the very beautiful Madhya Leela, chapter 8, entitled The Talks Between Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Ramananda Raya. This is the title of the chapter. It's one of the most important chapters of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, my dear friends. If we can study this one chapter, chapter 8 of Madhya Leela. So, Jaikumar Prabhu, can you please read this verse? I will just.
Hare Krishna. So the verse goes like this. Sancharaya Ramabhida Bhakta Meghe Swabhakti Siddhanta Chayamratani Gaurabhir Itir Amuna Vitirnais Tajagnatva Ratnalayatma Prayati.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear Jaikumar Prabhu. So I'm back. Sancharya Rama Vida Bhakti Meghe Swabhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani Gaurabdhirete Ramuna Vitirne Tadnyatvaratna Layatam Prayati. This is a very beautiful verse composed by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. What Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has done, my dear friends, is every chapter that he describes, in the beginning, the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita is in Bengali language. But Srila Krishnadas Kavi Raj, he is the king of the poets. And so Kavi Raj means, Kavi means poet or a very learned person. And Raj means the king. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is Goswami, he is a very great devotee, all his senses are controlled, but he is Kaviraj. He is the king of all the poets. He wrote Sri Govinda Leelamrit and he wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, both very essential and very beautiful scriptures. And on a side note, Kaviraj also means a doctor, physician. So it is said, some biographers say, some Vaishnava scholars say that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in his earlier life was also a doctor by profession. He's called Kaviraj because Ayurvedic practitioners, Vaidyas, are called Kaviraj. So Krishnadas Kaviraj, he is not only a doctor for the body, but also a doctor for all our souls, the king of all poets. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Bengali language so that the local people at that time could understand the Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami begins every chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita with a very beautiful, exquisitely composed Sanskrit verse. Because Sanskrit is considered to be the language of the elite. And this, in one Sanskrit verse, Kaviraj Goswami gives a summary, a synopsis of the entire chapter. This is the beauty of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So in this one verse, first verse of the 8th chapter, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives us a synopsis, the essence, a summary of the entire chapter. This chapter has more than 300 verses, my dear friends. And in one verse, Kaviraj Goswami captures the heart of the whole chapter. Sancharya Rama Bhakta Meghe Swabhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani Gaurabhirete Ramuna Vitirnes Tadnyatvaratnalayatam Prayati. We'll take synonyms. Sancharya, by empowering or infusing. Rama Abhidha, of the name Rama, means Rai Ramananda. Bhakta Meghe, in a cloud-like devotee. Swabhakti, of his own devotional service. Siddhanta, of conclusions. Chaya, all collections. Amritani, nectar. Gaura Abdhi, the ocean known as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Mahaprabhu is Gaura and Abdhi means ocean. Etaihi, by these. Amuna, by the cloud known as Ramananda Rai. Vitirnaihi, distributed. Tadnyatva, of knowledge of devotional service. Ratna Alayatam, the quality of being an ocean containing valuable jewels. Ratna means jewels. Prayati, achieved. There is no purport to this verse. We'll read the translation. Translation by our most revered founder Acharya, Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gauranga, is the ocean of all conclusive knowledge in devotional service. He empowered Sri Ramananda Rai, who may be likened to a cloud of devotional service. This cloud was filled with the water of all the conclusive purports of devotional service and was empowered by the ocean to spread this water over the sea of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Thus, the ocean of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became filled with the jewels of the knowledge of pure devotional service. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jaikumar Prabhu, for sharing this verse. So, dear devotees, this verse encapsulates the entire chapter. So, what is happening here is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the Mangalacharan that we chanted, what did we sing? He Krishna Karuna Sindho. Krishna, who is non-different from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the in the metaphor of this verse is called the ocean of pure devotional service. Why? Because Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not just the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, but he is also the Supreme Personality of Devotee Godhead, Srimati Radharani, the greatest devotee, Srimati Radharani. He is both combined. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shaktir Asmat Ekat Manav Apibhuvi Pura Deha Bhedav Gatautau Chaitanyakyam Prakata Madhuna Twadvayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhav Duti Subalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. This verse appears in the beginning of the Adi Lila of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and this verse is very, very important because this verse conclusively tells us that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna combined. Krishna with the emotions, with the love of Srimati Radharani. Radha Bhava Duti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he has the sweetness of Radharani's love, he is this ocean of this Gaurabdhi, this ocean of Gauranga Mahaprabhu is the ocean of pure devotional service, because pure devotional service comes from Srimati Radharani. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the ocean of pure devotional service. Now, what is the quality of the ocean? Let's say we are sitting here in Atlanta and it is very hot summer and there is a drought and there are water cuts, and there is no water, the rivers are drying up. So what do? We just pray that there will be rain. We do Nam Sankirtan, that there will be rain. Because what is that in Bhagavad Gita? It is said that Yajnat Bhavati Parjanya. From Yajna, Parjanya means rain comes. So we'll do Nam Sankirtan and pray that there is rain, because we are there is a drought. We are experiencing a drought. There is shortage of water. So where do the rains come from? So there is a huge ocean. There is a huge ocean. We call the ocean by different names: Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean. Actually, it is only one Samudra, only one ocean. We have given names: Bay of Bengal, like that. But actually, it is one Samudra on our Earth planet. It's all connected. All the oceans are connected. So there is one ocean, Samudra, and it has got very, very vast quantity of water. But that water is salty. Is it not? That water is salty, and it is so salty that we cannot consume it. It is not potable. There is a certain level of saltiness that the human body can handle. When we have lemonade, we take some sugar, some lemon juice, and some pinch of salt, and it tastes very nice, isn't it? Because the human kidneys can handle a certain amount of salt. But if the salt is too much, the kidneys cannot handle it. And instead of hydrating us, that salty water will dehydrate us. Therefore, a human being can never survive on the water of the ocean, because the saltiness of the ocean water is much more than the kidneys can handle. To get that extra salt out in the form of urine, more water will be required than what is there in that salty water. So by drinking ocean water, we are actually getting more dehydrated than hydrated. So it is not potable. It is not drinkable. So there is vast amount of water in the ocean, my dear friends. And we are thirsty in Atlanta. We are thirsty in Atlanta. But we cannot drink that water. We cannot drink that water. And that ocean water is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not accessible to us. Is he? Can we call Mahaprabhu and talk to him? No. Mahaprabhu is there. His Karuna Sindhu. Krishna is there. But Krishna, Radha Krishna, or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not accessible to you and me. So they are like the ocean, and we are sitting here in Atlanta, thirsty. We want sweet drinking water. So what happens? The ocean evaporates its water under the influence of the sun. Bhanu Nandini Srimati Radharani. Under the influence of the sun, Bhanu, the water evaporates from the ocean and it goes up. And what does it form? It forms a cloud. So in this verse that we read, Srila Ramananda Rai is called cloud. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is the ocean. Sri Ramananda Rai is the cloud. Now Ramananda Rai is the cloud, but where does the cloud get its water from? From the evaporation of the water of the ocean. And then what does the cloud do? The cloud showers water, rainwater, which is sweet. The ocean water is salty, but the water of the cloud is sweet. It is pure water, distilled water, pure water. It is sweet. It has no salt in it. It falls on the ocean, part of it. But the cloud, the beauty of the cloud is that the cloud can carry vast amounts of water. See, if we have to carry water in a water bottle, it becomes heavy. If we carry a bucket of water, it becomes very heavy. But imagine it requires so much muscle, so much energy and strength to carry a bucket of water. Now look at the cloud. The cloud has got gallons and gallons and gallons of water. But still, by Krishna's arrangement, it is floating in the air. Can we make a water bottle float? Can we even make a teaspoon full of water float? No. We cannot make it float in the air. It will fall down. But look at Krishna's beauty, Krishna's arrangement. Gallons and gallons of water is there in a cloud, and it is floating in the air. So this cloud of Ramananda Rai, who's filled with sweet water, it comes on the land where there is a drought, and it showers the nectar of pure drinking sweet water, satisfying the thirst. Therefore, Sri Guru or Sri Ramananda Rai, devotee, a pure devotee, is called the cloud. Therefore, every morning we sing Samsara Dava Nalalidha Loka Pranaya Karunya Ghana Ghana Tvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. We are burning in this forest fire. Samsara Davanala. It is a forest fire. Davanala. And what can you do when there is a forest fire? Can you extinguish a forest fire by throwing buckets of water on the fire? I think last year we had forest fires in California, in Australia. So these forest fires are deadly. So many people lose their lives, and they are huge forest fires. If we take a candle, a flame, and we blow on that candle, the candle will be extinguished. You can put out the fire of a candle just blowing on it. We see in the Western culture on the birthday cakes, they blow the candles off just by blowing air on it. Of course, we don't do it in Vaishnava circles, never, because when you blow air, your saliva, spit particles also fly, and then it contaminates the whole cake. So we don't do that. But you can blow out a candle just by blowing air on it with your mouth. But can we do that to the forest fire? No. Well, what will happen if a huge wind blows on a forest fire? Can a huge wind extinguish a forest fire? No. It actually spreads the forest fire. The forest fire is so powerful that when the winds blow, the flames of the forest fires, they move with the wind and they touch other trees, other pieces of straw and grass, and the forest fire just spreads under the influence of wind. And there is no way we can extinguish that forest fire. We are completely trapped. But who can extinguish the forest fire? It is only the rain cloud. If there is heavy rain, then the forest fire is immediately extinguished, immediately doused. So we are burning in forest fire, samsara davanala, lead loka. All of us are suffering. Pranaya karunya ghana. But that beautiful cloud has come filled with rain, and it showers the rain of Guru Kripa. And then our davanala, forest fire, is extinguished. So Sri Guru, or a pure devotee, or Sri Ramananda Rai, is called as the rain-filled cloud. So that ocean water which is not accessible, and even if we access it, it is not drinkable, it is not potable. That water comes in the form of a cloud, and then we can access it. Then we are satisfied. Our Trishna, our thirst is satisfied. So Sri Ramananda Rai is called the cloud. Now, there is something very interesting, my dear friends. Our Shastras mention, of course, nowadays they sell cultured pearls. Moti is pearl, and they are actually cultured. The oysters are cultured in the specific places that produce those pearls, and pearls are produced. But those pearls are not so precious. The real pearls are pearls which are made naturally in the ocean, and they are found at the bottom of the deep oceans in the oysters. But these oysters are living organisms, and they come up to the surface of the ocean from time to time. And it is said that during Swati Nakshatra, if there is rainfall from the cloud of Ramananda Rai, if there is rainfall, and these raindrops enter into the mouth of the oyster, the oysters come up to the surface of the ocean, and if the rainwater during Swati Nakshatra enters into the oyster, that raindrop elicits irritation and reaction inside the oyster, which produces calcium deposits, and a beautiful natural pearl is produced inside the oyster. And this oyster goes down to the bottom of the ocean. And then sometimes the deep divers, they can go and extract that pearl from the oyster. And those, in this way, the ocean gets filled with precious jewels. Now the ocean is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in our example, and the oysters are the ears of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the raindrops are the words of Sri Ramananda Raya in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Raya conversation. Whatever Ramananda Raya speaks, those words of Ramananda Raya are like the raindrops falling from the cloud, and Mahaprabhu's ears are the many oysters in the ocean. Mahaprabhu was listening to Ramananda Raya with many ears, and when those raindrops fell, the words of Ramananda Raya fell into the ears of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got many, many precious jewels. So this whole chapter, my dear friends, consists of these precious jewels spoken by Sri Ramananda. This is the quality of a pure devotee. Another quality of a rain-filled cloud, my dear friends, is just by looking at the rain-filled cloud, we do not come to know that the cloud has got water. We can see water in a glass. We can see water in a river. We can see water in a pond. But can we see liquid water in a cloud? No. The cloud just looks like something floating in the air, dark colored. But inside it is gallons and gallons of water. Similarly, my dear friends, and this is very important, please pay close attention. Similarly, just by looking at a devotee, we cannot understand how much greatness, how much nectar that devotee is carrying within his or her heart. Just like by looking at a cloud, you cannot tell how much water is there. Similarly, just by looking at a devotee externally, we cannot understand what is the greatness of that devotee. The devotee may be appearing to be an ordinary person, falling sick, getting diseased, getting old. But how much nectar is there in their heart, how much spiritual depth is there in their heart, that we cannot judge just by looking. Therefore, we should not judge devotees just by the externals. Is this devotee Indian, or is he American, or European, or African, or Russian? No, we cannot judge. In Srila Prabhupada's, among Srila Prabhupada's disciples, there is such a variety of great stalwart devotees from different backgrounds. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj was a traditional Indian sadhu. Then Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj was African American. Just see, such a contrast. And Sripad Ayendra Prabhu was a typical white American kid. So was Ladini Mataji, and so many other exalted Srila Prabhupada disciples. So we cannot judge them just by the externals. We have to see what is the love for Krishna that they are carrying. So in this way, my dear friends, in this chapter, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he begins his South Indian tour. He is living as a sannyasi in Jagannath Puri, and then he develops a desire to deliver the people of South India. So on that pretext, he takes permission from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, from Gadadhar Pandit, and he says, please give me permission now. For some time, I want to travel in the southern part of India. He says, I want to try to find my brother, Vishwarup, who took sannyas when I was a small boy. I want to see if I can find him. So please let me go to South India. And taking permission from them, he starts. And at the beginning of his tour, he goes to different places like Kurmakshetra, and then ultimately he comes to the bank of the river Godavari, where the meeting between Sri Ramananda Raya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes place. And today, my dear friends, I would like to talk a little bit about this meeting that took place between Ramananda Raya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's a very beautiful incident, and it is very purifying to hear this on the disappearance day of Sri Ramananda Raya. So it is described in verse number 10 of this chapter. Purvavata Vaishnavkari Sarvaloka Gane Godavari Tire Prabhu Aila Katak Dine. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after traveling for some time and converting many people into Vaishnavas, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preaching. Therefore, it is said Vaishnava Kari, transforming and converting many people to Vaishnavism. It is said that Mahaprabhu's formula was Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Whoever he would meet, he would give them Krishna Upadesh. He would teach them about Krishna. And he would tell them that Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha. You chant the name of Krishna, you worship Krishna, and you teach others also about Krishna. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh, Amar Agya Guru Haya Tara Ei Desh. On my command, you become a guru of your local area. And whoever you meet, you tell them about Krishna. Tell them the greatness of Krishna as mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tell them the message of Krishna from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And tell them to chant the names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this way, people who are living their lives filled with ignorance, they will be delivered. This was the formula of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Converting many people into Vaishnavism, he came during his South Indian tour, his travels, he came to Godavari Tire. He came to the bank of Godavari river. Godavari dekhi haila Yamuna smaran, Tireva na dekhi smriti haila Vrindavan. See, this is the quality of a great devotee. A great devotee, wherever that devotee is, will always see Krishna. Will always see Krishna. Like one day, it is mentioned, Srila Prabhupada was taking a walk in Los Angeles on the beach, and it was a very beautiful sunset. So Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they mentioned to Srila Prabhupada, just look what a beautiful sunset it is. Beautiful ocean, beautiful waves, nice clean sand on the beach, and nice clear sky, and this golden sun is setting. Srila Prabhupada remarked, yes, very beautiful. This is Krishna's art, Srila Prabhupada said. This is Krishna's art. And if Krishna's art is so beautiful, can you imagine how beautiful Krishna must be? So you see how Srila Prabhupada would connect everything to Krishna. This is the quality of a devotee, and that is exactly what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. So he saw Godavari and he thought this is Yamuna. Mahaprabhu, he saw Godavari river and he thought this is my Yamuna of Vrindavan. Godavari dekhi haila Yamuna smaran, Tireva na dekhi smriti haila Vrindavan. And on the banks of Godavari river there was a forest. There was a forest. And Mahaprabhu thought, oh, this forest is Vrindavan. And Godavari is Yamuna. This is the nature of a devotee. Sarvatra hai Ishtadeva Spurti. Wherever they see their Ishtadeva. Seivane katakshana kari nrityagan Godavari parahaya taha kailasnan. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he performed his usual dancing, nrityagan, chanting Hare Krishna and dancing. This is Mahaprabhu's method. Golakera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. Just chanting the names of Krishna and dancing in the association of devotees. This is Mahaprabhu's prescription for Kali Yuga. Tara Madhya Sarva Shrestha Nama Sankirtan Nirapradhe Nama Laile Pabe Premadhan. If without offenses, without criticizing devotees, without criticizing anyone, with humility, if we simply do Nam Sankirtan, Mahaprabhu says, guaranteed we will attain the lotus feet of Krishna. Tara Madhya Sarva Shrestha Nam Sankirtan Nirapradhe Nama Laile Pabe Premadhan. So that is what Mahaprabhu is teaching us by his own example. He is performing his chanting and dancing. Mahaprabhu is same whether Mahaprabhu is surrounded by thousands of people in Navadvip, in Jagannath Puri, or whether Mahaprabhu is alone, say Vane, in this forest. He is alone, but still his mood is same. He is chanting and dancing with the same enthusiasm. This is a devotee. Simple. Inside, out, same. Same. That is devotee. Therefore, Krishna likes the flute. What is the quality of flute? Inside the flute is air, outside the flute is air. No duplicity. You can see what is inside the flute, outside. There is nothing, no duplicity, no secrecy. Full transparency. This is Vaishnavata. Saralta, he Vaishnavata. simplicity, straightforwardness is Vaishnavism. So whether Mahaprabhu is with thousands of people or whether he's alone, Mahaprabhu's mood, his behavior is same. He's always chanting and dancing holy names of Krishna. We should also try to become like that. When we are in the assembly of devotees, we are well behaved. We are very humble. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji. We are very humble. But how we are behaving at home with our loved ones, how we are behaving with those who are not on the path of Krishna consciousness, that is very important. We should behave very nicely. I remember, I always like to tell this example. I once knew a devotee. He, in the presence of devotees, he used to be very humble, very well behaved. He used to follow all Vaishnava etiquettes. But I noticed once I had gone to Vrindavan, the large group of devotees, and he was also one of them. And I noticed he was very rude to the non-devotees, the fellow passengers in the train. Many times I noticed he was yelling and screaming and chastising the ordinary people unnecessarily. Like someone would come and sit next to him. It happens in the trains. In India, there is a lot of crowding. Somebody came and sat for some time. So of course we had reservation, but he yelled at that person, "Hey, why are you sitting here? No, go away from here. We have reservation. You don't have reservation. Go, don't sit here." Very rudely. Then at some station, some tea seller came and he yelled at the tea seller, "Hey, why are you coming here? Don't you know we are Vaishnavas? We don't drink tea. Out from here. Don't come here. Don't sell your tea here." So very rude. Even with the rickshawalas, he used to fight in quite a harsh way. And I saw that in a very short time, he actually had very severe difficulties in his Krishna consciousness, almost fell away from the path of Krishna consciousness. So we have to be very careful. It's not that we behave very nicely with devotees and we treat those who are not devotees as if they are less than human. No, a devotee should be, like Srila Prabhupada said. Prabhupada was asked, "How will we know who is your true disciple?" Srila Prabhupada said, "My true disciples will be perfect gentlemen and ladies." They'll be perfect gentlemen and ladies. Very well behaved. That's what we should try to be. So after that, after dancing and chanting Krishna Nam, Mahaprabhu crossed the river and took his bath on the other side of the bank. Why on the other side? Because on this side, there were many people. So Mahaprabhu wanted some solitude. He's a sannyasi. So he went to the other side and then he took his bath. Ghata chhadi kata dure jala sannidhane vasi prabhu kare Krishna nama sankirtane. Mahaprabhu's program continues of Nam Sankirtan. Kirtaniya sada hari. Mahaprabhu never stops. So after bathing, he walked a little distance. Kata dure, he walked a little distance from the ghat. Again, why? Because in the ghat there were many people washing their clothes, bathing. And being a sannyasi, being a devotee, Mahaprabhu wanted to have his little seclusion, because bhajan happens good in seclusion. Either we should be with Sajatiya friends, like-minded devotees, or we should be away from contaminating association. Not by disrespecting them, but just by keeping a respectful distance. Like that. Mahaprabhu is teaching us all these things. He sat down and again started chanting the holy name of Krishna. Then what happened? Hena kale dolay chadi Ramananda Rai snana kari bare aila bhajana bajai. At that time, accompanied by a sound of music, Ramananda Rai came there on a dolay chadi, on a palanquin, to take his bath. Tara sange bahu aila vaidika brahmana vidhi mate kailate ho snanadi tarpana. Along with Ramananda Rai, there were many followers. Some of them were even high-class Brahmins, and they were chanting Vedic mantras. Then Ramananda Rai took traditionally, he offered mantras, offered oblations to his forefathers, and then took his bath. Actually, devotees don't have to do all these things. Devotees don't have to do all these things, but to set an example for the general population, Ramananda Rai was keeping the social etiquette. Prabhu tare dekhi janila ei Ram Rai tahare milita Prabhu mana uthi dhai. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Ramananda Rai, who was a great devotee, and he had all the symbols of a devotee. Although he was an administrator, he was a very high-ranking official in the government. He was a governor of that province, but he was a great Vaishnava. He was chanting Krishna Nam. He had all the marks of a devotee, like Kanthi Mala, Tulsi around the neck, Tilak, Vaishnava Tilak. All those signs identify a devotee. So therefore, as devotees, we should be careful of these things. We should make sure that we have Tulsi Mala around our neck, because this recognizes us as a servant of the Vaishnavas, as a servant of Krishna. And also, whenever possible, we should have a tilak of Gopi Chandan, Urdhva Pundra. This is the Vaishnava tilak, Gaudiya Vaishnava tilak. Every sampradaya has their own tilak. And even the sub sampradayas, there will be divisions among sampradaya, branches of the sampradaya, and they may have a certain tilak. So, tilak is actually given by Guru, Shri Guru. It is mentioned in the life of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur once was attacked by a tantric, a person who performed black magic. His name was Bisaki Sen. It's a very interesting and long story. But anyway, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur suffered some effects of that black magic, and so did his family members. This was when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was around in his early 30s. He was quite young, and he was posted in Sri Jagannath Puri. So later on, by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's faith in Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna Nam, this black magician, this tantric, Bisaki Sen, was arrested, punished, and he committed suicide in the jail. He died. But later on, some devotees asked Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that why you were not wearing a Kanthi Mala and why you were not wearing a tilak during that phase of your life. Maybe that's why the black magic affected you. You should have worn Tulsi Kanthi Mala and Vaishnava tilak. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur replied that these two things, Kanthi Mala and Vaishnava tilak, are Guru Pradatta. They are given by Shri Guru. Because every Guru, every Sampradaya has their own tilak and their own regulation how to wear Tulsi. So this is given by Shri Guru. But unfortunately, I don't have a Guru. I don't have a Guru, because by that time, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had not met Bipin Bihari Babaji. He had not met Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So he said, I don't have a Guru. So please bless me so that I can find a nice Vaishnava Sadhu Guru. Then I will also get a tilak and I will also get Kanthi Mala. And of course, later on when he got initiated, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wore this tilak. So these two are the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And this is a Tulsi leaf offered at the lotus feet of Krishna. This is our tilak. And we should all wear this tilak whenever possible. If not possible, we are going to a workplace, office where a tilak may not be allowed, then we can just apply tilak with water. So it's not visible, but it's still there. Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha. Like that we can apply at 12 places, the Vaishnava tilak with water if possible, and then go to our workplace. But when we are at home, whether it is a program, satsang or no satsang, we should wear tilak. It should be a routine that after we take a bath, we should put tilak and always have a Kanthi Mala. So some devotees actually wear two Kanthi Malas, because in case one breaks, then one is there. Because sometimes the Kanthi Mala may just break suddenly. So devotees sometimes they wear two Kanthi Malas, so that if one breaks, one is there. Because we always want to have Kanthi Mala. Because during Diksha, we get Harinam Chadar, we get Tulsi Kanthi Mala, and we get our Japa Mala. And of course, we have to wear tilak. So Srila Prabhupada is very merciful. Even before initiation, we are allowed to wear Tulsi Kanthi and Vaishnava tilak. This is Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So we should take advantage of this. In our Shastras, it is mentioned. In the Puranas, it is mentioned. Gopi Chandan, this name is mentioned. And the importance of Gopi Chandan, the power of Gopi Chandan is mentioned. The power of wearing Tulsi wood, Tulsi Kashtha around our neck is mentioned. What is the greatness? So all these things are very much based on the Shastra, and we should wear these things because this is what identifies us as a Vaishnava. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw these signs in Sri Ramananda Rai. And what happened? Tahare milite prabhur mana uthi dhai. As soon as Mahaprabhu saw Ramananda Rai, his mind, his heart was running towards Ramananda Rai to meet him. He was such a great devotee, always chanting Krishna, 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 and having all the signs of Vaishnava. Essential signs of Vaishnava are tilak, kanthi, and a japmala. We should never go anywhere without a japmala. Always we should carry japmala. Srila Radha Govinda Goswami Maharaj, a very exalted disciple of Srila Prabhupada, one of our Gurujans, always lives in Vrindavan Dham, does very beautiful Harikatha. He is the spiritual master of our Amarendra Prabhu and Hari Parshad Prabhu and many devotees actually on the call. Devavati Mataji and other devotees. So, Srila Radha Govind Maharaj, he says that a devotee should always carry Japamala. Always. And it should be in a bead bag to keep it pure, keep it clean. Always carry. And he says, even if you are not able to chant, you should always carry the Japmala. Always keep the Japmala with you. Why? He says, just like a police officer, a cop, always carries the pistol in the holster. Whether the cop has to use it today on criminals or not, that is another question. But the cop is always ready, always carries the pistol. A soldier always carries the machine gun. So similarly, we are devotees, and this is our shastra, this is our weapon. So we should always carry, and whenever we get a chance, we should put our hand inside the Japamala and start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is everything for us. This is everything for us. Hari sada vaset tatra yatra bhagavata jana gayanti bhakti bhavena Harer nama kevalam. Hari sada vaset tatra. Lord Hari always dwells in that place where bhakti bhavena Harer nama kevalam. The devotees are always chanting with devotion Hari Nam. So we should always carry our beads with us wherever we go. So Tathapi Dhairya Dhari Prabhu Rahila Vasiya Ramananda Aila Purva Sannyasi Dekhiya. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind was running towards Ramananda Rai, seeing all his devotional qualities, he controlled himself. Why? Because so many people are watching. Again, Mahaprabhu is teaching us that in a public place, we should control our ecstasy. And there is a way how we should behave. Because we may be very informal, very playful, very mischievous with our devotee friends. We may joke, but in front of outsiders, that behavior may bewilder them. So we have to be careful. When others are watching, we have to behave in a certain way. Now again, we just said that a Vaishnava is inside out, everything same. Whether he's alone, whether he's in a crowd, he's always same. Yes, that is always there. But what I'm saying is, in our interpersonal relationships, we interact with each other in a different way based on our relationship. Just like a mother will behave in a certain way with her husband. She will behave in a certain way with her parents, with her in-laws, with the children. You see how the mother is the same, but with different family members, she has different dynamics of relationships and dealings. So similarly, we are devotees with everyone, but our personal relationship with the devotees will dictate how exactly we behave with them. So Mahaprabhu controlled himself very nicely. Surya Shata Sama Kanti Aruna Vasana Subalita Prakanda Deha Kamala Lochana. So Mahaprabhu wanted to embrace Ramananda Rai, and when Ramananda Rai saw this wonderful sannyasi, he also felt very attracted and he came to take darshan of the sannyasi. So Ramananda Rai left all the crowd and came to where Mahaprabhu was sitting. I want to take darshan of the sannyasi. He came near Mahaprabhu. And what did he do? He, with his lotus eyes, he saw the beautiful form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his description is given here. Surya Shata Sama Kanti. The effulgence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting there as a simple sannyasi. But his effulgence was like hundreds of suns. So beautiful, Mahaprabhu. So such effulgence. Aruna Vasana. And his clothes, sannyasi clothes, were Aruna. Aruna means the color of the rising sun. When the sun is just rising, it is golden orangish in color. That is called Aruna. So Krishna is Aruna Nayana. His eyes are also like that color of saffron. And Mahaprabhu being a sannyasi, he was wearing saffron clothes. So Aruna Vasana means he was wearing saffron clothes. Subalita Prakanda Deha. And Subalita. It's very balwan, very strong. Prakanda Deha, very beautiful. It is said Mahaprabhu was 7 feet tall. He was very tall and very beautifully built. So when we say Subalita Prakanda Deha, means he had a strong, beautiful, large body. That doesn't mean that he was like a weightlifter with veins popping out of his neck and biceps bulging. Not like that. Not like that. Sometimes when we draw a picture of even Narasimha Bhagavan, Krishna, we should not draw them like a bodybuilder, Mr. Universe, like big biceps and triceps and veins. Not like that. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is never like that. Someone who is just in a very ugra way, just exercising in the gym and lifting weights. No, that is human being. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, Lord Narasimha Dev, they are Subalita Prakanda Deha, they look very slender and very beautiful. Therefore, Kaviraj Goswami says Kamala Lochana. Because the bodybuilder's eyes are like that, they're always straining, and Kamala Lochana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had very beautiful lotus eyes. So, Surya Shata Samakanti Aruna Vasana Subalita Prakanda Deha Kamala Lochana Dekhiya Tahara Mane Haila Chamatkar Asiya Karila Danda Vata Namaskar. So as soon as Ramananda heard this beautiful sannyasi, he was effulgent, wearing saffron clothes, beautiful lotus eyes, he immediately offered Dandavat Namaskar. So my dear friends, Dandavat Namaskar has a very deep meaning. We many times just say, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Dandavat, Dandavat, like that. But we have to always remember that Dandavat Pranam is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Sri Ramananda Rai meets Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami at Ramakeli, they surrender to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They offer Dandavat Pranam. Danda means rod. Dandavat means like a rod. Namaskar. Offering Atma Nivedana. So Dandavat Pranam is a very deep term. We should understand that. So immediately, very respectfully, he offered his Dandavat Pranam to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Uthi Prabhu kahe utha kaha Krishna Krishna tare alingite Prabhu Hridaya Satrishna. So Uthi Prabhu kahe. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at Ramananda Rai, who was offering obeisance, and said, Uthi, Utha, come on, get up. Ramananda Rai, and kaha Krishna Krishna. Chant Krishna Krishna. Chant the holy names of Krishna. Tare alingite Prabhu Hridaya Satrishna. And Mahaprabhu was very eager. Trishna means great eagerness. He had got a lot of desire to alingite, to embrace Ramananda Rai. But what to do? So many people are watching. He is a governor, big administrator, and I am a sannyasi. So there was separation, even though there was union. And this is very sweet, my dear friends. Because who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Krishna, but with the feelings, emotions, and love of Srimati Radharani. And in that Pranam mantra of Sri Ramananda Rai, we saw who is Sri Ramananda Rai? He is an incarnation of Sri Vishakha Devi. And who is Vishakha Sakhi? She is the dearmost Sakhi of Srimati Radharani, dearmost friend of Srimati Radharani. So here Srimati Radharani is meeting her most intimate friend, Vishakha Devi. And Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Sakhi. Lalita and Vishakha are the two dearmost friends of Srimati Radharani. In fact, they are the personal bodily expansions of Srimati Radha. So Radharani is meeting her best friend. Vishakha Sakhi is called Anuradha in Goloka Vrindavan. Anuradha, she is called. Why? Because Vishakha Sakhi always follows behind Radharani. Anuradha. So Radha is meeting Anuradha. Radha is meeting Vishakha. Vishakha Devi always wants to serve Radha and Krishna. Therefore, Vishakha Devi expands herself as the river Yamuna. Yamuna Devi is Vishakha Sakhi. Yamuna Devi is Vishakha Sakhi. He Radhe Vraja Devi ke chalalite, he Nanda suno kutaha, Shri Govardhana kalpa pada patale, Kalindi vane kutaha. Kalindi. So here, He Radhe Vraja Devi ke chalalite. Lalita Sakhi is mentioned, but what about Vishakha Sakhi? In the next line, Vishakha Sakhi is also mentioned, Kalindi. Because Yamuna, Kalindi, is Vishakha Sakhi. So Vishakha Devi is meeting Srimati Radharani. You can imagine. They want to embrace each other. They are best Sakhis, they are best friends. They want to embrace each other, but they cannot because there are hundreds of people there on the ghat watching them. And this makes it even sweeter. So there is union, but there is still separation. So let's see what happens. Tathapi puchila tumi Rai Ramananda, teho kahe se haya dasa shudra manda. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asks this great administrator, this governor, Tathapi Puchila, Tumi Raya Ramananda? Are you Raya Ramananda? Mahaprabhu is asking that administrator. And the administrator says, Teho ka hai se haya dasa shudra manda. Oh no, actually I am a servant. I am not Raya Ramananda. I am a servant. I am Shudra and I am foolish, Manda, very low. Ramananda replies like this. This, my dear friends, is humility. Natural humility. And this is what we have to cultivate. This is what we have to pray for. Every morning when we chant our japa, before japa, we should all chant the Shikshashtakam prayers. Guru Ashtakam prayers and Shikshashtakam prayers. Every morning we should chant before japa. And during japa, we should meditate on the meaning of the Shikshashtakam prayers. So, Trinadapi Sunichena. Mahaprabhu is teaching us that we have to become humble like a blade of grass. Very humble. So how will we become humble? If we beg Krishna for humility. If we pray for humility. Our acharyas explain that all these good qualities, humility, tolerance, respectfulness, empathy, kindness, these are all gifts of Krishna. And these qualities will develop in us if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra sincerely and we pray for all these good qualities. We pray for all these good qualities. So we have to pray for these qualities. We have to beg for humility. This is humility, my dear friends. Mahaprabhu is asking him, are you the governor, Raya Ramananda? And he says, no, I am Shudra, I am very fallen, I am foolish, I am Manda. Naturally it came out. This is humility, my dear friends. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, are you the guru of Allen Ginsberg? Because in those days, Allen Ginsberg was a very famous personality in North America. And Srila Prabhupada was asked, are you the guru of Allen Ginsberg? Because Allen Ginsberg would come to Srila Prabhupada and learn spirituality from Srila Prabhupada, learn Kirtan from Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada naturally said, I am no one's guru. I am everyone's servant. Hare Krishna. Naturally it came out. Srila Prabhupada replied, I am no one's guru. I am everyone's servant. Yes, that was the mood of Srila Prabhupada. That's why Srila Prabhupada came to America. He came to save all of us. Because everyone was in the mode of passion and ignorance, gliding to hell, eating meat, having illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, breaking all regulative principles, just engrossed in sense gratification. Griha Andhakupa, the blind well of materialistic life. And Srila Prabhupada came to save us, to wake us up, carrying the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauravani Pracharine, Srila Prabhupada. So what is the message of Mahaprabhu? Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is saying, wake up, sleeping souls. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You are sleeping in the lap of the witch called Maya for a long time. Now wake up. This message Srila Prabhupada came to give us, Gauravani Pracharya, to save us. He did not come here to become founder Acharya. Srila Prabhupada did not pray on the Jaladuta that Krishna, please make me the founder Acharya of an international society. Krishna, please make me Jagat Guru. Krishna, please let me have a nice bungalow where my disciples are serving me. No. Srila Prabhupada simply prayed, Taba kripa hale mora katha shuddha habe suniya sabar shoka dukha je guchi. He's praying to Krishna on the Jaladuta ship and writing in his poem, Taba kripa hale mora katha shuddha habe. If you bless me, Krishna, then my Krishna Katha, the Krishna Katha that I am going to speak in America, that will become pure. By your mercy, Krishna, please purify my words so that Shuniya Sabara Shokha Dukha Je Guchibe. By hearing this Krishna Katha, your Katha, Tava Katha Amritam, Tapta Jivan, these Jivatmas who are suffering, whose life is tapta, they are being scorched by the fire of material existence. Shoka, Dukkha, Guchive. All their sorrows and pain will go away if you bless me. So please bless me in this way. Tava kripa hadle mora katha shuddha habe shuniya sabara shoka dukkha je guchive. This was Srila Prabhupada's mood. This is the mood of being a servant. Dasosmi. Tabe tare kaila prabhu drida alingana premaveshe prabhu bhritya dohe achetana. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the humble words of Sri Ramananda Raya, he immediately embraced him. You see, till now Mahaprabhu was not embracing. As soon as Ramananda Raya said, I am servant, I am Shudra, I am Manda, immediately, Tabe, at that time, Tare Kaila Prabhu, Drida Alingana, not just embrace, Drida Alingana, heart to heart embrace. Mahaprabhu embraced Ramananda Raya. And what happened? Premaveshe Prabhu Bhritya Dohe Achetana. Out of overwhelming love for each other, Prabhu and Bhritya. Mahaprabhu is the Prabhu and Ramananda Raya is the Bhritya, servant. Both of them, Dohe Achetana. They both lost their external consciousness. This is the amazing meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Ramananda Raya. So with this, there's so much. Now there is more description of their meeting. And then they will sit down together and they will discuss wonderful Krishna Katha. But we have run out of time. So this Katha will continue, my dear friends. And I will stop here. If there are any questions or comments, I'll be happy to try. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Ramananda Rai ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Adhikara Prabhu. It was pouring out of you like nectar. So beautiful. Your narrations are always so eloquent. Thank you so much. I just want to see, is there anyone on the call who would like to ask a question, share a comment, or have a realization? I see one hand raised. Gaur Chandra Prabhu. If you're ready, you can go ahead and unmute and ask your question, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so very much for this class. I was really waiting since yesterday for this class. I know you have 3 lectures today, so I won't take much time, but I'll just quickly jump onto the question. Now, Prabhuji, just like we encourage new people to come to the temple, and then we say, yeah, we practice here tolerance, humility, and all these things we Pranadapi Sunichena. And then when they come to the temple and now they have a first-hand experience of some senior Vaishnava or Vaishnavi behaving in a manner when they shouldn't be, and the behavior is quite obvious. And then obviously, because I'm their first point of contact, so they come to you and then they ask you, why did this happen? But you are trying to tell us something else, but this behavior. So how can we tell them, and how can we say, because at the same time we know that that the other person's behavior, obviously they're also senior Vaishnavas, and they have been in the movement for many years. So how can we tell the newcomers that so what should be our strategy, Prabhuji? That's my question basically.
Krishna. I am asked this question many times. What always comes to my heart is something that I learned from His Grace Mahatma Prabhu. Mahatma Prabhu is a very senior, exalted disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he's a initiating spiritual master in our movement, and a very great thinker. And his Naam Bhajan also is very exemplary. He conducts many japa workshops, which have helped hundreds of devotees all over the world in their Naam Bhajan. So Mahatma Prabhu says something, I don't know exactly which article, but quite a few years ago, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, I read in one of his articles something that really went deep in my heart. His Grace Mahatma Prabhu said, listen very carefully, Gaurchandra Prabhu. He said, ISKCON is not a museum of pure devotees. ISKCON is not a museum of pure devotees. ISKCON is a hospital for conditioned souls. Hare Krishna. So what happens is, when we come to a temple, when we come to a congregation of devotees, our attitude is that, oh, everybody is a pure devotee. Everybody is chanting 16 rounds. Everybody is following 4 regulative principles. But devotees are initiated or they are aspiring for initiation. Oh, they are. Yes, they are very glorious. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yadati siddhaye yadatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvata. Among thousands of men, one may, men in the sense, men, women, among thousands of human beings, hardly one will endeavor for perfection. And out of many such siddhas, many of such who have attained perfection, hardly one is a pure devotee of Krishna. Hardly one knows Krishna in truth, and only a devotee can know Krishna in truth. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. So devotee of Krishna is very rare. So all these devotees that we see in our ISKCON temples, they are all very fortunate, exalted, rare, great souls, because they are on the path of pure devotional service. They are on the path of Krishna consciousness. They are on the path of pure devotional service, but they are not pure devotees yet. They are on the path. So just like I decide to come and take your darshan in New Zealand, so I have to book a ticket, then I have to take a cab, go to the Atlanta airport, then probably go to some, there will be some connecting flight somewhere, and then come to New Zealand, and then take another cab, and then come to your house. So it's a journey, isn't it? Similarly, going to Krishna, going to Krishnalok, going to Goloka Vrindavan is a journey. And devotee means one who has taken that, who had started that journey, who has embarked on that journey. But the journey is not complete yet. Abhi Bhagavad Prapti nahi hui hai. We have not had darshan of Krishna yet. We have not realized Krishna yet. But we are on that path. We have faith on the strength of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Rupa Goswami, that if we follow on this path of devotional service, Krishna consciousness, one day we will be with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan, because this is a path of perfection. So we have to understand, and we have to explain that to the new devotees also, that we are on the path of pure devotional service, but we are not pure devotees yet. There are pure devotees in our movement. There are pure devotees in ISKCON, but a pure devotee is rare. Srila Rupa Goswami says that one of the qualities of pure devotional service is, it is sudurlabha. It is rarely obtained. It is rarely obtained. So this, we have to have this understanding that ISKCON is not a museum of pure devotee, that everybody is a pure devotee, pure devotee, pure devotee in ISKCON. No. Everyone who is practicing Krishna consciousness under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada is on the path of pure devotional service, but we are not, most of us are not pure devotees yet. Some are. And those who are pure devotees, they are the examples that we look up to. They are the examples that we follow. And that they are the examples who we focus on. If we focus on people who are not the right examples, then we will lose our faith. We will become confused. We will become disheartened. But if we keep devotees like Gaur Govind Maharaj, devotees like Sripad Ayendra Prabhu, like Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, like Srimati Ladini Devi, who have attained perfection in this life by following Srila Prabhupada, if we keep such examples in our heart, we will never be disappointed. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj is never going to disappoint us. Sripad Ayendra Prabhu is never going to disappoint us. Ladini Mataji is never going to disappoint us. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj will never disappoint us. And there are many such great disciples of Srila Prabhupada. They will never disappoint us. So we should keep them as the focus of our life. We should keep them as our meditation. Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj will never disappoint. He is a great example of what is pure devotional service, what is Guru Nishtha. So such examples we should keep in our heart. And there will be devotees who are trying to be good examples, but they may have difficulties. They may sometimes deviate. So we understand. Yes, we are all patients. So ISKCON is not a museum of pure devotees. ISKCON is a hospital for conditioned souls. In the hospitals, there will be sick patients. We cannot expect to see perfectly healthy people in a hospital. No, the fact that you are in a hospital means you are sick. So yes, it's a hospital for conditioned souls. And we have come here to get cured. And many devotees are getting cured and they are getting discharged. They're going back to Godhead. So we have to take the treatment of the expert physician called Srila Prabhupada. Is that okay? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Gaur Chandra Prabhu, for the wonderful question, and thank you, Adigarara Prabhu, for the beautiful explanation. I just want to see if there's anyone else who has a comment or question, realization that they'd like to share on the call. You can go ahead and raise your hand now. We'll give you an opportunity to speak. If not, then we will continue to the next part of the program. We'd just like to thank Adigarara Prabhu again for his wonderful association and for his beautiful class. It's always such a pleasure to hear from you, Prabhu. I know you have so many other classes going on today, so thank you for giving us your time and your valuable association. We look forward to hearing from you again soon. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhu. Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees. So we will move on now to the next part of the program. We'll just go through a few announcements. And coming up next week on our Sunday program, we have our special guest, His Grace Hari Prasad Prabhu, who will be joining us on June 6th. Please stay tuned for more details regarding the topic and different aspects of that program. And our midweek program also continues with part 7, Dasyam, Serving the Lord, with our guest speaker, His Grace Shambi Hari Prabhu. That will be at 7 p.m. on June 2nd. We'd like to encourage everyone to please join us for that program as well. And we have some upcoming festivals that we would like to mention. On June 6th will be Apara Ekadasi and Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur Appearance Day. And on June 20th will be Sri Baladev Vishabhushan Disappearance Day. And on June 21st will be Nirjala Ekadasi. So devotees can get ready and start preparing for those wonderful festivals that are coming up. And also we just like to give you all a quick update with regards to our social media platforms. You can visit our Linktree, which is Linktree at ISKCON Atlanta, and you'll be able to view all our forums that we have online. We have Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, so many different options where you can engage with us and watch previously recorded classes and get details on upcoming festivals and so on. So please check that out. And also we would like to send out prayers for the devotees who are still in the midst of the corona pandemic. His Holiness Jaipataka Swami, His Holiness Bhakti Brigang Govinda Maharaj, His Holiness Jai Advaita Maharaj, His Grace Nanda Sutta Prabhu, Her Grace Govardhan Leela Mataji. Also like to send out prayers to ISKCON Calcutta, who recently faced a severe fire at their temple, and also to all the doctors who are fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, and also to all of those who we have not mentioned. So we'd just like to chant Hare Krishna 3 times in a prayerful mood, sending out our thoughts and wishes to these devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Thank you so much, dear devotees, with joining us in sending out prayers. And we will move on now to the next part of our program. We will go back to the location where all our youth are. If you weren't here when we started, we had a pleasant surprise where our youth of ISKCON Atlanta led us in a beautiful kirtan, and they will conclude the program today as well, leading us in Nashringa Arti. So, Dilip Prabhu, Swati Mataji, if you're ready from your side, can hand it over to you now, and you may continue with the Nashringa Arti. Thank you.
विघ्नाचकन सिंह भगवान की जय। शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। और हरि हरि बोल।
Hari Bol. Jai. Jai. Thank you so much once again to the youth for conducting such a beautiful Nishinga Aarti. Like I said earlier, it's so inspiring to see all the youth so enthusiastically and eagerly engaged in such wonderful service and so expert in their kirtan. And we just like to thank you. And the future looks very bright in ISKCON Atlanta with these wonderful saintly devotees, Vainkunta kids. So thank you so much for that, everybody. And thank you to Swati Mataji and Dilip Prabhu also for coordinating from your side. Thank you. So we'll move along now.
Thank you for giving us a
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Jai. So yes, thank you, dear devotees, for joining us once again on our virtual Sunday program. We are very grateful for everyone who has joined the call and who continue to support us in this series. We'd like to encourage everyone to please continue to join us on our weekday programs as well as our Sunday programs. And please stay updated with us on all our social media platforms. And yes, please take care out there, be safe, and remain blissful in Krishna consciousness. We will now take leave, dear devotees. Thank you so much for everything. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.